All right, what's up, guys? We back down here at the shop. We're gonna be working on the blue '99 Silverado, trying to get this fuel system situated on it. So y'all just stay tuned. Appreciate it. We're gonna do our best to get it right, cause I really don't know what I'm doing. It is what it is, though. All right. Alright, y'all, so for get started on the fuel system, we're going to get the cold air intake out of the way. We're going to pull the intake completely off because we got aftermarket fuel rails for it. So we're going to have to make some brackets to hold them fuel rails in place. So I already made one bracket before, but it was not, it won't match up to these new fuel rails. I want to clean up some of this wiring. This loom's old. MSD extra power harness right here. I'm gonna clean that up. We're gonna have to pull the alternator off because the way I want to run the fuel lines, y'all see all that. So I'm gonna throw y'all on a time lapse and get all this stuff taken care of real quick. So we got the intake off. We're about to get the belt off so we can take this alternator off. Get it out of the way. Of course, this works when you go the right way, right? Probably would have helped if I had got a 10 millimeter. I'm gonna grab a 10 millimeter wrench. If you unhook your alternator, you probably should unhook your battery. So let's do that first. That's why you brought the 8 millimeter, because that's what size that is, buddy. Come on the other side of the camera. No, I'm not very organized. This battery right here is trash. Lay that right here. Move that down out the way. So this is a one-wire alternator. I bought it from Jegs. It's actually for the gold truck, but whenever I put this motor in, for some reason, the alternator that was on this truck didn't want to charge anymore. So I just stole the one for the gold truck. I'm gonna have to replace that whenever we get the 408 put together to put in the gold truck. Which we'll be working on soon, hopefully. Alternator out of the way. I'm just leave the alternator off for right now. So that way, whenever we bring the intake back, if I need to cut this aftermarket bracket I got on here, trim it down or whatever. All right, we're gonna jump on getting the intake took apart, getting the old fuel rails off, and start figuring out what we got to do to get the new ones on. Let's do it. So now, got the intake up on my handy dandy little fold out table. Then you're gonna pop these 10mm bolts out the fuel rail, pull the injectors and all off of it, get them out of the way. Because we gotta do some modding to the intake and make some more brackets, something like this out of aluminum. This one would work. The back hole here actually lined up, but this front one was off a little bit, so I'm gonna have to make 2 more brackets just like this. I'm gonna paint them up and all so that I'm wrong. They're 8mm. Pretty sure y'all can see the truck in the background. It's dirty. It's living in the South, you know. It's just pollen season. I think it's gone now, but we'll see. All right, got all the bolts out of the fuel rail. All you gotta do is take your thumb, put it under the front of the fuel rail or in the middle, wherever, and just pull up, and it'll pop off. And what I do, I'll take this, set it to the side, upside down, so nothing don't get into my injectors. But these injectors are coming out of this fuel rail. Alright, so I got the driver's side all made up. I got a little bit more cleaning up to do on it, but for the most part it's done. Pops right in place, everything lines up. So yeah, make sure these fuel rails is good and clean before I put everything final assemble. Probably take them apart, all the fittings off of them, take the bracket off, throw them in the ultrasonic cleaner, let them cook without the heat on in the ultrasonic cleaner because it might peel this coating off. Then I had a few things that did that too. Aluminum up here, mark it, get it cut to length. So that way that part will be done. Sharpie. Okay, hold on. Let's move some stuff around here, man. Alright guys, so I got the fuel system pretty much buttoned up. I checked it. I had a leak here on my regulator. Got that taken care of. Everything's tight on that. But over on the passenger side, my number one injector, I think I might have nicked the O-ring putting them in. So I'm going to order up a new set of O-rings for all 8. Go ahead and replace all of them. Then the Y on the back where I split it to hit both fuel rails, I think it's leaking. So the intake does have to come back off, which I'm completely fine with. It ain't no problem. It's pretty easy to get in there on this intake in this truck. But then we got other problems under the... Alright, so that wet spot right over there, that's from the Y up top, I think. Okay, this is my flex fuel sensor block with the bypass. I gotta get my Allen wrench off of there. It's junk. It's leaking from everywhere. Fuel filters, fine. Ain't got no leaks there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bypass the flex fuel sensor for now, order one from Motion Raceworks, get it in, and I'll put it back in line right here, make up a mounting bracket for it. So, alright guys, so here's the fuel pump. It's all installed. Of course, y'all know that already. Whatever. But I did have a leak on the main line. I haven't seen anything leaking from the return yet. I'm going to put a vent line on this with a rollover valve. Mount it, because that's what that is. That's just a vent to vent the tank fumes, whatever. So with that being said, this is good back here. I wish I would have bought a new lock ring for this. I had one, can't find it. So before I put the bed on, I might buy a new one. Just, you know. So that's that back here. Alright, so this is my thinking. If this doesn't work out the way that I want it to, with the fuel rails, the aftermarket fuel rails and all on there, what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to take the fuel pressure regulator and I'm going to mount it over here on the firewall. And then I'll bring my feed up, feed it, bring the return out, go back to the tank, and I'll just put the stock fuel rail back on here and feed the stock fuel rail. Which I got the stock fuel rail, I got the fittings to make it happen. So, and the feed line and the return line is plenty long enough. Even if I got to go back down to the where I have the flex fuel sensor block mounted at, I can run a new line up to feed the fuel pressure regulator. So if this is going to give me too much heartache and struggles and all of that, I'll just put the stock fuel rail back on. Alright y'all, y'all see I'm down at the shop. So the fuel system didn't go as planned, had leaks everywhere, so I'm going to completely redo it from the E85 sensor forward. So I'm going to put the factory fuel rail back on. I'm going to move the fuel pressure regulator up on the firewall. The truck's never going to be considered as a high horsepower truck. It's a street truck. It's my work truck. I'm going to be driving it back and forth to work every day and all that stuff. So the truck will never, hopefully you'll never see nitrous or turbo kit, none, you know, getting boosted or none of that. So that's the reason I'm going to go back to the stock fuel rail and put the fuel pressure regulator on the firewall. That way I can get it done and start driving the truck. I haven't drove this truck in over a year and a half. I've been messing with it and messing with it and messing with it. So I need to just get it done so I can start back driving the truck. So, man, I appreciate y'all for watching. Y'all comment, like, subscribe, and see y'all later.